Hey guys, how you doing? Yes, you can see what's going on behind me for the ZR1, but this is not a ZR1 update video. This is a Notchback update video. A lot of you guys asked where the Notchback was. Well, I finally got it back from Steve at Thunder. They're very busy. I don't think they need the promotion, but I'm going to make this video just to kind of give an appreciation post on the kind of work that they did on this Notchback. A lot of you saw the initial introduction video of the '89 Mustang on the channel. And one of the things that I kind of said, oh my God, this thing needs a lot of is wiring help. I'm not a wiring guru at all. I really despise wiring. I don't want to even learn it, to be honest with you. Doing the wideband on it, doing the wideband on the ZR1 taught me a lot, but I really don't want to even get good at wiring. I'd rather let a professional that really knows what he's doing do his thing on wiring, and I'm more than happy to pay. But I said, are you guys willing to wire up the MSD so it doesn't look like a rat's nest in the front? They said yes. I said, are you guys willing to seal up the intake manifold to the block? They said yes. And then while it was there, they cleaned up a bunch of other little things that you wouldn't even think of. But I just wanted to show you an update on the car, let you know what's going on, take it for a spin, because it's been months since I've actually driven this car and shown it on the channel. So here she is. That's right, '89 Notchback that I've had for a little bit over a couple of months now. It's been a car that I really haven't driven much because it had a decent sized oil leak on it, on the manifold. And I didn't really want to like drive it often. It still needs a radiator, still needs a whole bunch of other stuff, but let's get over there and take a peek at it. So I dropped it off Steve at Thunder Auto in Boynton Beach, Florida. They specialize in Foxbody stuff, but they also do Coyote stuff in terms of like regular work. Like they're like a power by the hour. I didn't know this because anything that I got done was at power by the hour, plain and simple. So obviously the white hood actually looks pretty funny, closely matching the paint of the car because the white on the car is faded. So the next step of this car's journey would be a new radiator, good old 3-core, and then eventually take it to a body shop. So if anybody has suggestions on a Florida, South Florida based body shop that isn't gonna just bend me over and pull my hair and say, you know, $8,000, what I want out of the body shop is the following: fix this cowl. I think this one's okay. Might be able to use it because it's not broken, but fix this cowl and then paint the hood so we have some kind of UV protection on it. And if they have to match the whole front end of the car, or like a front, like pretty much, or if they have to respray the whole car because it is a faded white paint, I would understand. We got faded paint here, we got spider webs here, if you can see really closely, spider webs. But when you look at the faded hood paint versus the faded paint of the bumper, it's not that far off. By the way, it needs a little alignment, but this is something that Steve at Thunder also said, hey, do you want us to make that hood shut? I go, hot diggity dog, you damn Skippy, I want you to try to get that hood to shut. Wouldn't you know it, they got it to shut. Yep. Just, I mean, awesome. Like, I know it's the little things, but I'm telling you, they did such a good job. And you hear that sound? That is it rubbing on the cowl back here. See? And I really don't want to do that. I don't want to prolong that to mess it up and then potentially have an issue where it wears things out. But this hood has been awesome. I love that. Obviously, I'm gonna have to get this guy, the metal piece that goes in here, that little sliver that goes in here, so it can hit the striker a little better. I'm gonna have to eventually get that, but for now, everything is working as it should. So last time you saw the car, it had a bunch of wires, MSD wires all over the place. A lot of it had to do apparently with the nitrous kit. That's right, the nitrous kit that this car had, or had at one point, was really wired like backwoodsy. So what they did is, my request was, let's get the battery out of the trunk for a couple of reasons. I started noticing that when the car was warm, it would start badly. So I suspected it had to do with the amount of wire that this guy was providing juice to from the trunk to the front, and it just had a bunch of weird wonky connections that I said, if it has a shorter distance from here to the starter, it's gonna have a better shot of it starting up well. And wouldn't you know it, I think they got this box from LMR. Shout out to them. They got this. I said I want it back in the stock location. They said no problem. I already had an Optima battery. They got this guy in there nicely, wired it up with a new solenoid, new wires, new everything, okay? And we're able to get the battery out of the trunk. I know some of you would say, but you want better weight transfer. No, I want better maintenance. So everything on this car is going to be for me to maintain it as easily as possible. The fact that it's analog and it's just running wonderfully, I really don't want to complicate my life. As I told you before, it's going to need, this is I believe a 5-core, I don't know, this is huge. So this guy's leaking in the epoxy, so I'm going to have to replace it, but I can drive it once in a while, topping it off. I really am not going to stress it all that much. They got rid of the transfer tube here that takes the coolant to the heater core, so they cleaned this up a lot. They were able to get me basically rewire the, I don't know if you want to call it thermocoupler, I don't know what you want to call it, the sensor that tells you, hey, it's over 160, fan turn on. Well, what I did is myself is I wired it to key on power. Basically I grounded this guy and basically key on, it's just kicks the fan on. I'm not a fan of waiting for this car to warm up. We are in Florida, so there's no reason to wait for the car to warm up. But again, the thing I love about properly tuned carburetors, and again, for those of you that don't remember, this has a Brawler series carburetor on it, and it has been just super wonderful and easy to adjust. So give it a kick, let you know that it still works nicely. Just, I'm tickled. Absolutely tickled. Everything is good. So, let me just give you a reminder what this car sounds like. Nice, nothing crazy, nothing dumb. Now, I'm kind of on the fence about the wheels and tires, to be honest with you. I don't think I'm gonna run these wheels per se. I do want to run 275 60/15 full time, but I don't think I'm gonna run these wheels because they do rub a little bit, and I would really like to avoid that as much as possible. And honestly, this car's probably fine on a set of 26 by 11.5. 28 10 5 15 is, like, to me, a little big on the car. It looks wonderful, but I don't know if it's gonna benefit from it performance wise. It might actually take away from it just because of the gear ratio loss based on the diameter of the tire. So what's next for the car? Obviously, I'd like to get the radiator, get the paint situated, basically the cowl situated. So get it to a body shop eventually, but I'm gonna drive it a little bit, guys. I'm gonna drive it. I'm gonna have to, take it to the car wash, mess around. I'm not really looking to race it anytime soon, but if a track deal opens up that I can just shove it in there, I think that'll be fun. But the clutch. This thing still has that weird issue that when I clutch in, that it makes a real weird noise on the clutch. And the first thing Steve noticed at Thunder was that. He goes, yeah, what are we gonna do about that clutch situation? I go, yeah, because I don't want to get into it right now based on budget. If we start digging into the whole clutch situation, it's probably gonna come out that the clutch itself, the throb bearing, the fork, it could be a host of things. So I want to be sure that if I take it back to Steve, or when I take it back to Steve to diagnose that, or if I do it myself, that I have the budget set up for it. Meaning, okay, if I have to buy a complete new clutch kit, a new fork, new cable, potentially maybe switch it over to hydraulic, that I'm ready for it. Also, as always, we know the interior is going to need some help. So the plan at the end of the day is some kind of Recaro style seat eventually for this car. That's kind of my hope anyway, if it's in the budget. But again, this is going to be years and years in the making. So obviously I need panels, I need stuff that basically finish up the interior stuff. But if I can get the interior nice, cleaned up, get it detailed somewhere, get that little kick panel situated, and get the clutch situation situated, and it doesn't make noise now, but when you're driving, it makes that kooky noise that it just makes you wonder what's going on with it mechanically. But the tach still works fine. The speedo works, so I want to keep that. And also, when we do the cowl, I want to make sure that get a new windshield, or at least reseal this old one. As you can tell, it looks like somebody went in there and just gooped it everywhere, and when it rains down there, it starts to seep out and become an issue. So that's the update on the Notch. I wanted to make sure I gave you guys a bit of an update so you know what was going on. Steve at Thunder did a wonderful job, in my opinion, sealing up the oil leak because it was coming out of here. He also did me a super solid and he was able to give me a timing mark on the balancer so that I know what to reference here. So he was able to reference that, and he said there are timing marks, and then on the back side right here where there's lines, according to him, where is it? Where's my finger? Where's my finger? Okay, back there on the back side, he said there's lines. I said, really? He goes, yeah, there's lines that you can reference, and I have it at 31 total degrees of timing. I said, thank you very much, brother. I appreciate that very much. So it's at 31 degrees NA, so obviously it's gonna work out nicely at the end of the day. So just wanted to give you guys a quick update. We wanted to keep you in the loop as to what's going on with the Notch. So hopefully by the time that you guys see this, wow, this sun is ridiculous. Gotta love Florida. By the time you see this, you'll get caught up on what's going on, and I have reached out to a couple of companies in order to see what it costs to get the body work done. Cowl, hood, paint, start looking for trim, kick panels, windshield to be sealed up, and see what's going on with the clutch situation so that I can drive this car with confidence everywhere. Then we can get it to the track and have some fun. I've got to figure out what gear is in it. I have no idea what gear is in it. I have no idea anything that's in it, so I don't even know what trans is in it. TKO 500, 600, 3550, literally no clue as to what's going on. Also, power steering is something I'm also gonna have to fix, either the pump and rack or both, because there's a pretty good sized leak underneath that I have to take care of. But for now, it's basically manual steering, just kind of doing the thing. But wanted to update you guys on what's going on with the Notch in this hot Florida. Beautiful. It's 86 today, bro. I'm gonna get in that pool, have some fun, but not before I take this thing out for a ride and have a good time. Gas at Costco. Compression, it'll hate it. You give it gas, it'll hate it. You don't realize how much you miss modern amenities until you get in a car that's like, you might not make it home in. Because the Corvette, we drove it from Pennsylvania back, and I wasn't even thinking about it. I was like, yeah, it'll make it, no problem. This thing, I'm like, I don't know if I'll go 5 miles. You get a little complacent. Even the GT500, I don't trust it. Like, I just don't trust it. It's pretty quick. I don't have any repairs. haven't driven in a long time, and I'm like, and air fuel is like right at 12.5. I'm like, this is pretty fast. So it'd be cool to take it to the drag strip just to see what it runs, but the amp light kind of scares me, you know. And you know, I just hope it stays running. When I have the voltmeter, so I can see if it's actually not getting voltage. See, it comes and goes. So I think it's just a dumb little thing, but no, runs good. I'm really happy. It's just a matter of getting the body stuff fixed up. It's just a matter of getting the leaks and the radiator stuff, and then get it to the track. It might run low 11, high 10, I think, but we'll see. We'll see how it goes.